Tyson, please start the recording also. Start the recording also. Mr. Tahir, is it on?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, over to Jyoti ma'am.
Thank you, sir. A very good morning to everyone who is present here. And today we are joined by an amazing panel right from the KRMU. And of course, we have someone here joining us, the beautiful lady sitting in front of us, Ms. Poonam Bhargava. We have a webinar for you today on something very, very important and close to all of us, which is mental health, self-care, and holistic well-being. We keep on hearing this term post this COVID era now that we are facing a true mental health crisis on all of our campuses today. And we have made sure that we have everything possible for you to help you out with any mental health care issues that you may be going through. So today, not just that we're going to talk about this in detail, we will also be telling you all the systems and the SOPs which have been put in place to help you out. So before we go ahead, I would like to introduce our esteemed speaker of the day, Ms. Poonam Bhargava. She is the director of the company Venant. It's a learning academy. She's a science graduate with a master's degree in education. She's a gold medalist as well. She's internationally certified global career counselor from the University of California, LA. She's an author, she's a storyteller, she's a certified holistic well-being counselor, she's a mindfulness coach, and she's a second-level Reiki trained therapist as well. She's also a member of the International Association of Therapists. She's a self-tutored psychologist and an entrepreneur. So I'm sure when you listen to her, you'll be able to find answers for all the questions that you're looking at. Please feel free to jot down any questions that you have, and we will take them forward. Over to Ms. Poonam now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jyoti ma'am, for that lovely introduction. Well, you very rightly said that there is mental health crisis on our campuses today. So mental health issues are increasingly prevalent among college students. And this is a webinar for you young women and men there. So a Boston University mental health researcher, Ms. Lipson, and a co-principal investigator of the nationwide survey, which was administered online during the fall 2021 semester through the Healthy Minds Network, found that half of the students screened positive for depression and anxiety. However, very potential one bright spot from the survey was that the stigma around mental health continues to fade, which is a very good news for us, because 94% of students said they will not judge anyone who's going to seek mental health treatment. Now, in our country, the stigma around the dreaded word mental continues. You know, even after some celebrities like Deepika Padukone have tried to make people aware as to how she faced depression herself in her life and came out open, it is something that we will, and KR Mangalam University, have to thank them for this, that they are trying to address such an issue, because we have to ensure that we call it out loud and make everyone around this community aware of what sometimes happens to them when they do not realize that they are facing with an issue. So if you are one of those who want to know that, do I really have an issue? Maybe mild, maybe severe. Do I need intervention? Do I need help? So there are some warning signs that you can watch out for, you can look out for. And if you feel that you have even one or a few of these signs within you, then the next step should definitely be to see a psychologist or a counselor. Or if you're still shy, and if you are still also in the category that it is a stigma and I'm not going to handle it, then probably you should take down the paper and pen like how Jyoti ma'am urged you to, and please put down some pointers for yourself so that you can heal and treat your own self. So the 10 warning signs can be, if you're suddenly feeling very sad, withdrawn, or unmotivated for more than 2 weeks, you're making plans for trying to harm or kill oneself, you're out of control and your risk-taking behaviors are manifesting. sudden overwhelming fear for no reason, sometimes with a racing heart or fast breathing, not eating, throwing up, or using laxatives to lose weight, significant weight loss or weight gain, severe mood swings, causing problems in relationships, which is one of the most prevalent, excessive use of drugs or alcohol, drastic changes in behavior, personality, or sleeping habits, extreme difficulty in concentrating or staying still, intense worries or fears getting in the way of daily activities like hanging out with friends or going to classes if you have been one of the extroverts. So if you have any one or few of these signals, you have to sit up, watch out for what your body needs or is storing. So today, this 1 hour or 50 minutes that we are left with, let's decide that we will drop everything that is troubling us. Okay? No classroom assignments, no mama calling, nothing to submit. Let us just be present here so that our understanding of what happens to us in our bodies will make us actually handle this particular problem well. Because they say that physical ailment can be seen. You have a doctor who will prescribe you. But what about your mind? What about the mental ailment? It is not visible to the naked eye. If it is not visible, we have to figure it out. And there are ways to figure it out. So first, we will ground you. We will bring you to this present moment, this reality, by a small guided meditation. And then we will take you through this presentation. So I'm just sharing my screen and we will start. Just let me know if you can see my screen. Yes. Jyoti ma'am, is it? Yeah. Can you see it? Yeah. So mental wellness at your own pace, no hurry, but understanding is most essential. So if you may want to take screenshots during this presentation or you want to keep writing some of the things, please feel free. So in the workshop, what all will we be covering today? We will look at 2 minutes guided meditation, significance of mental health, youth-related emotions, identifying them, feelings and moods, how to deal with negative emotions. 7, unhelpful and helpful coping mechanisms. ABCDE analysis, which you will be able to do on your own, which is self-help. And how to heal yourself if you figure out that there's a problem. And then we will send you off for the rest of the day and weekend with some very powerful affirmations. So what is the panel or the participants thinking right now? Maybe you can just use the Zoom chat. Just type one word. What are you thinking right now? I would really want the participants to make this session interactive so then some of the problems that you people are facing can also be addressed.
We have an answer. Someone is thinking about exams.
Yes. So the researcher was not wrong when he said college students, anxiety, performance problems, doing well. Okay. So who's this person? Can I just request you to stop thinking about exams for the time being? Do we have any more answers?
Not anymore, ma'am, but I do have something to say in this case. I'm actually thinking the amount of energy that we are bringing here. And I am thinking how much is Poonam ma'am going to help me and my students?
So nice. Really, I'm so happy to see. See, this is what Jyoti ma'am, we say that if we sit down with an intention, then that intention actually comes true. They say when you become a student, a teacher appears. So if you're wanting your students to receive help, you know, this seminar has just come to them. The universe has prepared this for them. So let us see now, if you think trouble, you will be troubled. So if you will think positive, you will get positive results. So let's, for these 90 minutes, think only positively. All right.
Ma'am, Arora sir is saying that he's very happy he doesn't have any such exam issues.
Okay, that's wonderful to know. So this is our current, everybody's life state is this, that we have in our subconscious, in our unconscious state, loads and loads of worries, like how one person has the reality also as the worry. But some people, they try to create a happy reality, like this girl in the center is holding this picture, but they are dealing with a lot. And everyone has to deal with a lot. Life isn't linear. It comes a big circle. So there will be highs and there'll be lows. But how we use the low to rise back to the high is what this particular webinar probably will do. And it all begins with the very first thing called thought. So if, like how I said, you were thinking good thoughts for your students, okay? So if we think good, good happens. But if we think bad, then this can happen. So we don't want to become like these. Now, please, for 2 minutes, relax, close your eyes and listen to this beautiful voice of Charlene Wong. It is going to get you into this zone, because addressing mental health isn't a very casual phenomenon. It needs a lot of care. It's a very delicate topic. We want everybody to be very mindful and very empathetic at the same time. So relax, keep your eyes closed, do what she's asking you to do, and you'll feel completely relaxed, and you'll feel what break, a 2-minute break in your day can do to you.
This is a 2-minute meditation to ground yourself emotionally, mentally, and energetically. Grounding yourself is essential to be fully present in your body, to clear your mind, calm your emotions, and strengthen your instincts. Grounding is the ultimate connection of mind and body. Let's begin. Find a comfortable seated position and gently close your eyes. Begin to take awareness of the present moment. Place one hand on your chest and the other on your abdomen. And with every inhalation, belly rises, then chest rises. With every exhalation, chest falls, belly falls. Inhale, belly rises, chest rises. Exhale, chest falls, belly falls. And we're going to continue taking 20 deep, long, and smooth breaths. Now visualize yourself seated in an outdoor location that has brought you peace and calmness. Take 100% of your awareness to this space. In your mind's eye, begin to grow roots out of your legs and feet into the earth. Grow thick, sturdy, and strong roots through the earth's crusts. Feel yourself 100% connected to your roots and your body. Deep breaths. Now place both hands over your heart and set the intention that for the remainder of your day, all your thoughts, emotions, and mental awareness will be grounded, stable, and calm. Thank yourself for taking a refreshing 2-minute mental break. And slowly begin to open your eyes and go forth with a calm and collected demeanor for the remainder of your day.
Please come back, open your eyes, come back to this space. I'm sure you would have felt something very nice, very different, calm, calmness would have come upon you. Now, once we are grounded, we are actually going to understand, as she said very rightly, that what is strengthening our intention. If our intention is that I am
Ma'am, we
going...
can't hear you.
Sorry, sir. Okay. So let us understand what and why is addressing mental health so important. Because sometimes when we are made aware of the fact...
I think the voice has gone low. If you could keep the mic closer, please.
Is it better, sir? Is it better now? Jyoti ma'am, can you hear me clearly?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Very much.
Okay. So let us look at some of the glaring facts. Okay. So the mental health issues, actually, like you mentioned, somebody wrote exams, they are associated with a lower GPA, low score, and a higher probability of dropping out of college. Okay. 33% college students reported they felt so depressed that they had trouble functioning, which means normal daily functioning. 50% of students had a psychiatric disorder. 73% of students experienced some sort of mental health crisis during their college life. And more than 80% students felt overwhelmed by all they had to do. Basically, not being able to do assignments, submissions, okay? Actually understanding concepts. So 45% felt things were hopeless, which is not a very good thought to have. And only 25% of students with a mental health problem ever took help. So if the mental health ratio is that 1 out of 4 needs intervention, needs therapy, needs counseling. So if they also do not go, then we can imagine that how we will be storing these emotions in our body, and we will let them become and progress towards depression. Because it doesn't really become depression in overnight. It leads into depression. It leads into other serious critical mental health issues. Okay. So what is actually the seed or the root that gives rise to these issues? Okay. They are nothing but our emotions. They are our thoughts, which we will be looking at now.
Ma'am, before we go ahead with that, I actually had this one simple question. We all know what is our physical health, but a layman does not understand the term mental health. If you could shine some light on that word specifically for us.
Absolutely. Very good. Very, very good question. And I'm glad you stopped me at the right point. If you can see, mental health, it's like, it's such a nice term. Check up above neck up. So anything which is above your neck is mental health. Okay. Which will include how you think, how you act, how you respond, how you behave, how you decide. All of these things are in the domain of your mind, which, if not handled properly because of how the anxiety, phobia, stressors, depression, all those things stay in your mind instead of the abilities that one should have, that is what will lead you into having a mental health problem. Now, how has WHO, World Health Organization, defined mental health? Okay. So it says that in 4 categories, like how I put up. So it says that any individual as a state of well-being in which the individual realizes his or her own abilities, that, okay, I have to, I'm responsible, I have to watch out for my daughter, or I have to work as a leader. So my ability to deliver, if I'm in a well-being of that state, then I'm fine mentally. The second is, am I able to cope with the normal stresses of life, or do I just give up? And I say, I surrender. I can't cope up. I can't cope with, and I will not do this or go there. The third could be, am I being really productive and fruitful? Or day after day, my life is absolutely monotonous, mundane. There isn't any constructive outcome. And the last is, am I able to make any contribution to my community constructively? Am I teaching some, underprivileged children, or am I going and addressing or spreading awareness? If I'm able to do all of this, then I am fine by mental health standards. Otherwise, I have to delve into minding my mind. So if you'll be very surprised to see, Jyoti ma'am, the youth, because this is addressed to the youth of today, okay, who will eventually be our tomorrow, how mental health is affecting them because of social media. You know, Instagram, which is the current thing, and it is responsible for most of the mental health issues that students these days face. And this study was conducted on 3 factors, namely anxiety, depression, and loneliness. So anytime a student posts something and doesn't get likes, or they do not have enough number of followers, or they are told something which is not a very good remark, they will have a dip in their life state. And they will go into a spiral of worrying thoughts and patterns. And they are going to then make it their mood, which will continue for days, and they will not like anything around them. And this is the spiral that we need to now break. But for that, let us understand how we get into a so-called mood. Because mood doesn't just suddenly come and say, hey, I want to embrace you. It happens. So COVID actually was one of the major reasons of why we have suddenly seen such an upsurge in the cases of mental instability, right? Because people lost loved ones, they lost jobs, they did not have, social connect, they were isolated. So all of those things gave them frustration, anxiety, depression. They weren't even able to reach out to the people with whom they felt good. Okay, so distancing really actually added to the woes. Now, but emotions are something that we have within our control and we can change them. So if you see this if you're seeing this picture, what is the first thought that comes to you?
A lot of happiness.
See? You just said
no
that
tensions,
first
no
emotion
worries.
outright.
Yeah.
So that is the first. So the emotion that we can perceive starts with the 3 gateways. One of the 3 gateways, which is the eyes. So when we see something, we perceive it and we develop an emotion around it. So happy is an emotion. You said lots of happiness. So what are emotions? Actually, they're nothing but they are hormonal transmitters, neurotransmitters that are released in our brain to a response around the world. And we feel them all the time. And they are 8 in number. And they are polar opposite. So we will see what are they in a very beautiful chart, which we can share with our participants as and when. And then they are, if they are left unaddressed, they intensify. And when they intensify, they do something in our body, which we will understand. So, for example, this girl is probably seeing her mother or her father or a rainbow. Okay. The emotion has gone in of happiness. So for a very long time, she'll feel joy. She'll feel her body light. It will not give her any physical discomfort, right? And on the contrary, if you see it in an opposite way, if we are left in a desert without water, our first emotion will be so much of depression because we will be disgusted. We will feel miserable. Okay. So our feelings in our bodies will be that of cramping or, not feeling very good in our systems. Okay. We feel something physically also. And that is what will become our feeling and our mood. So emotions come first, followed by feelings and then moods. So feelings start when you integrate the thought of the emotion. Like the happy thought, and you soak it in and you let your mind relax. You don't become very attentive. You let the life flow as it is flowing. And they are mixed with a lot of goodness, which lasts longer than what the first feeling does. And then when they are generalized, it stays with you. So for example, if you've gone on a vacation and you only see clouds and mountains, okay, it gives you a very good feeling and you stay positive throughout and you are in that nice mood. But if you're sent to a war zone, would you continue having the same emotion? No. So the mood will be that of depression. The mood will be that of agony. Okay. And you will be saying that it's not fair for people to die, right? So we need to understand the bigger umbrella is emotions. Under them reside feelings and moods. Now, I can ask you, what is the emotion that you're feeling right now from the first perspective, which is your body, physical? If any of these, you can note it down. Then the second is emotion. Emotion we've discussed, there are of 8 kinds. So are you feeling anything? Like, are you feeling anxiety? Okay, or are you feeling restless? What are you feeling? Mentally, like sometimes you are very alert and you can produce from your memory bank anything that you're asked about. But sometimes you are forgetful. So is there any confusion, mental brain fog? Or have you suddenly become someone who's snapping a lot if you were a calm person? So if you have just written these under these sections, one emotion each, and if it looks like this, that you have headaches and you feel tired all the time, drained out, then you have sadness and anxiety. Or you are feeling that, oh my God, I am losing concentration because everything is merging into each other and your sleep is getting affected. Then what is it? It is definitely concern. And when we figure this out, then we know for a fact that now is the time to look at what is giving me this feeling. So basically, we are trying to go to the root cause of why I have allowed my body to feel like this. So this is an emotion wheel. Emotions are always present on a range, okay, from mild to the strongest. So the inner circle where you see grief, loathing, rage, it is the inner circle, which is the highest form of an emotion. And the circle outside of it is the form, which is the moderate form of emotion. So a polar opposite of anger is fear. It's not happiness. Okay. Polar opposite of anticipation is surprise. And joy is sadness, and trust is disgust. Now, if we let the first emotion, which is a very mild form, stay in our body, for example, if we say arrogance, okay, or annoyance, okay, you get annoyed by something and you do not handle it. You let it stay in your body, it becomes anger. And over a period of time, it becomes rage. So that person can actually become very aggressive even at a car parking lot because the anger of annoyance has not been addressed in his, when it initiated or when it took birth. So when we see this emotion wheel, we also understand that sometimes we deal with multiple emotions and multiple emotions overlap. So someone who has lost a loved one and is grieving, okay, can also at the same time be surprised if that person receives comfort. Okay, comfort of just not being said, hey, be brave, but comfort of someone just holding him or her or just being there, right? So when you have an overlap of positive emotion, when you're dealing a negative emotion, it really soothes you. Now, the opposite is also true. If you have two very negative emotions overlapping, then you can imagine the result will be so toxic. And that is what we have to guard ourselves from. So this is something which we can share with all the participants as and when
Yes,
you write to us. I'll share this picture with you. You can email it to them because you will be having the data.
Yes, ma'am.
Now,
Someone is actually asking us, or rather telling us, that he is feeling very low.
okay.
We've received a question that they're feeling very, very low. So if you could help them out with a few words.
Absolutely. The feeling of not being there and feeling low is stemming probably from the fact that our thoughts have not gone into the correct direction. We have not formulated a thought which we can say can uplift us. Because I'm glad you are on this workshop. This question will very soon be answered, because we will we will tell you how to change the feeling that you're feeling right now to a feeling that you can feel within a few seconds, because it all is within you. Okay. So understand, you can also be feeling low because of your glucose levels in your body not being okay. So first and foremost, I would say just go drink a glass of water, come sit down and just take 3 deep breaths and stay with us on this session. And we will handle this question, if you will have it, at the end of the workshop. Let's see how we progress with it. So some of the emotions actually people think like, okay, ma'am, Jyoti ma'am, if I ask you, what according to you is depression?
Ma'am, I would copy the student's answer and say feeling low, not feeling very, very happy, not feeling excited for the day. That is how I feel like I'm depressed for the day.
Okay.
There are some days when we all feel like that.
Absolutely. Understood. So, but how about if I tell you the possible meaning of depression, and let me see if it will make any difference in your thought process. Okay. So if I say the possible meaning is that it is hidden anger that we don't feel justified having. Now, if I wouldn't know that there can be hidden anger within me for which I'm feeling depressed, the minute I will release that hidden anger, I will not feel depressed anymore. Okay. And those are the ways around which we can, I would say, sketch our life, or, you know, write down the ways that let me identify for today what my emotion is, and let me figure out a way to handle it. Bite-sized ambitions. So for example, anger. So they will say, oh, well, anger is something that, okay, I'll ask you only, what according to you is anger?
And sometimes when we are maybe in a rush, we are already in a bad mood and something else adds to it in a bad manner, we end up feeling frustrated and the face turns red and then we start shouting.
Okay. So whatever you are saying is the symptom. Okay. This is what happens when you are angry. But the possible meaning is that it's time to make a change. Yeah. Now, anxiety, obviously, again, if you want to describe, you will say possibly, I don't want to go there, or I am feeling very restless, and, you know, all of those things. Again, they're symptoms, but the possible meaning of anxiety is, why do we have anxiety? I was having anxiety before this webinar. Butterflies in my stomach. Why? Because I am feeling very responsible for communicating a loud message to my viewers here. So that anxiety is positive, it is good, and I want to have it, right? But the possible meaning for that is that events, people, and situations are important for me. And that is why I get anxious. If I take it in the positive spirit, I'll probably not worry so much. Likewise, for loneliness, you know, the possible meaning is that it is time to say hello to others. Okay. And for shame, you know, this is such an emotion that every one of us has had at some point in time or the other, which is when we let others define who we should be. The minute I take the script in my hands and write it myself, then I will not feel shameful at all, right? Now, so if we understand the possible meanings, we will be able to go towards them. Like how I said, directing our mind to a new destination. Because maybe the person who's feeling low is all the time in the same spiral, in the same zone. If you will say that today I will change my direction and I will not take the same road to that destination, but I will change my route, then probably you will see better things on the way and you may not want to go to that destination. All right. So let us see what all we have covered. We have covered all these things. Now let's see some of the unhelpful coping emotions. So maybe here you may get your answer. Are you stuffing and burying your feelings? Like you're not addressing them, maybe you're not talking about them, because talking is a is a huge therapy, a beautiful therapy, okay? You have someone pick up the phone, call. But if you're stuffing, it obviously overflow. Mind can hold as much. Or have we taken to some substance abuse, alcoholism, or the likes? Then we do not address, because then we automatically again shove it under the carpet. Oh my God, have I become passive aggressive? I'm saying I'm a calm person, but I'm holding a lot within me. Or have I started behaving as the pandemic is making me behave? Around me, everyone is saying, oh, this is such a bad thing that has happened. And I have allowed myself to behave like that, according to the pandemic pause. Or am I really looking out for opportunities in this pause? Okay, this is something most of us do. Oh, I don't want to address this particular thing because it will trouble me. It will disturb me. Let me keep it aside, procrastinate, put it on the back burner, watch TV. Okay. Or my boss today was very upset, or my teacher was not happy with my assignment. I came back, I slammed my door. Okay. So I shifted my blame. Or am I the person who always plays a victim card? Poor me, I'm unlucky, and the likes. So then definitely we will be held captive by these negative emotions of jealousy, frustration, sadness, and the likes. Now
here I have a question, if you would not mind. See, as we've been talking about coping with different emotions, emotions play a huge role when we have to make something happen, when we have to meet an expectation of an XYZ person. As you just said, I wrote an assignment, my teacher did not like it. I wrote a report, my boss did not like it. So there is a huge connection, if we see, between emotions and our expectations. So could you explain to us how can we balance our emotions and meet those expectations in that time frame and not feel frustrated with everything that we have to go through with?
Okay. This is a beautiful question, first and foremost. Congrats for this. Now, this is also something which we feel when we are working as a team member, we feel less empowered. Okay, so understand how we will handle it is the minute we feel that how do I please someone, we feel not powerful. We feel that the decision making isn't with us. We feel that the choice that I want to make rests with somebody else. And that is not a very happy feeling to start with. Now, when we feel that, so the thought that I have to change here is that I can say that I am in life, and I'm here to understand and learn some lessons. Okay. And if I will not learn those lessons, they will repeat themselves. The lessons will keep repeating. Now, my lesson to learn here is that I am a seeker and someone is a mentor. If I understand the rules of the game and master them, then my irritation or my annoyance for the person who's teaching me something will be turning into gratitude. That, hey, you are present in my life for polishing me. And if I'm going to get irritated at every rub, then how will I ever shine? Right? So that is how you're going to start meeting expectations of that person, because that person is not to make you feel a certain way. That person is there to polish you and to hone you, you know. So the person can be the sculptor and you can be that basic rock, and you will come out into a beautiful statue. Okay. So moving on. Now, let's see how we can analyze some of the unhelpful thoughts. Okay. For example, if you can see this, this is the visual depiction of what worry looks like. 100% you worry about, only 10% can happen, but 1% happens. Is it really important to worry about your exams right now? The one who asked and thinking of exams. Okay. So let us see what we actually do. So Jyoti ma'am, do you have any students who have a problem? Like, you know, you would have come across somebody, they are not, they are very unsure about what they want to do. Do they want to go somewhere? How do they define their own selves? Let's look at that. Oh, you want to say something?
Yes, ma'am. We actually have, probably all of us who are teaching, we have seen n number of students acting in a similar manner. Either there is one student who is so confident and so sure about themselves that whatever they have laid their fingers on, they've been able to achieve. But then once something happens and they go back to a different square altogether, maybe they were trying to learn something new and they could not achieve it in the A positive or the top grade manner that they always do. So, they end up becoming super hard on themselves, very, very sad, and they don't want to pursue their passions anymore. So that is the place where we feel super stuck with such students, because we know they have a lot more potential in them. Then we also have students who have a little jealousy part to them, that, I was supposed to be the ma'am's or the sir's favorite student, now being replaced by someone else. What do I do? How do I cope up with it? We can actually see them showing those emotions in the classes by shouting and by not paying attention. This is where I believe your words do come in.
I'm so glad that, if you just pay attention to the 4 questions that you can ask, and in fact, all the participants can write down these 4 questions, because you can handle each and every emotion that you have by these 4 questions. So I had a student who came up to me and said, ma'am, I don't want to go to this event. Okay. And so let's see the conversation that happened between my student and me. So the student said, I don't want to be here. Okay, in this gathering. And I asked simply, okay, you don't want to be here because? So you just ask because. So the student responded, people will look at me and know that I'm depressed. The first thought about oneself, you are giving yourself your first projection, which the world will see. Okay, fine, I asked. And that is bad because? So the student said, well, they will think something is wrong with me. Now, again, he is thinking more about others than his own self. And I again asked, I said, okay, what is bad about that? If they think that something is really wrong with you, what is bad about that? And then he said, they will think I'm crazy. Okay, I asked, and what does that say about you? And he said, ma'am, that I'm crazy. Which means this boy formed his own belief without any external factor acting on his mind. Now, students do this all the time because they are indulging in overthinking. They are allowing themselves to get affected by remarks, by likes, by followers. They are always competing. The game that they are playing these days is that, okay, the one next to me in my swimming lane, is he faster than I? Okay, why am I so concerned about the one who's swimming next to me? Can I not just turn around and say, hey, have a great swim, you and I, we are together in it? Okay, these are some of the things that we really need to understand and imbibe before it becomes difficult. So what are the 2 things that you can tell your students, actually, that the only 2 things that are under their control and 100% under their control is, number 1, who am I becoming? So if they stop their thought from thinking about, oh, why am I not my mom's favorite? Okay, so he's becoming from someone who is stable in his skin and level-headed to someone who's only going to be looking at external validation. So why should he allow himself that? Okay, so who am I becoming? And the second thing is, what is my next choice? So should I allow myself to depend on people's validation, which means I will never ever value my own self, right? Now, this is going to lead us into having actually helpful coping emotions. Once our mind is clear that I will not let my judgment define me. So let us understand that we have to first name the emotion, like how you mentioned 2-3 cases, we will take one of those. Okay, so let's see if some student comes to you and names something. So you can ask, okay, what are you feeling? Envy or jealousy? Worried or anxious? Okay, lonely or depressed? Very, very simply in one word. Do not give it a lot of words, because when you handle one emotion, it will be faster and better. So you have to name it to tame it. Okay. So what is my next step going forward? I will say, this is my mantra. So I will say, choose, I am feeling dash, therefore I choose to feel dash. This is all that I have to do. So for example, if your student is feeling envious that you are not giving him more attention, so the student can repeat this affirmation and say, I'm feeling envious of her situation, who's being appreciated by ma'am. Therefore, I choose to feel better about what I am or what I have. Okay, like I said, no external validation needed. Now, suppose if somebody is feeling worried or anxious about exams, the one who said that. So I'm feeling anxious about exams. Therefore, I choose to feel calm as I have studied well. Or I choose to feel that I need to prepare a bit more to feel absolutely okay and in control. Now, someone is feeling lonely or depressed. So I'm feeling lonely since 2 days. Therefore, I choose to feel loved by inviting a friend over or going out. That's all that you need to do to tame the emotion that you are not naming. So name it to tame it. Now, with this, if you can see, this is such a beautiful thing. You do not become the emotion you are holding in your body, because it is just something which has come from outside. So this particular thing talks about, and if you can see, it's in Irish, when you talk about emotion, you don't say I'm sad. Okay. You say sadness is on me. Okay. So emotions are treated as external objects. They just come on you, like a fly can come on you. Okay. And I love that, because there's an implication of not identifying yourself with the emotion fully. I am not sad. It's just that sadness is on me. So it will go away. Because it's on me, it will eventually go away. It will release me, leave me for a while. Something else will be on me another time, and that's a good thing to recognize. So please recognize, like, what is it that is on you? If it is happiness, wow, let it be. So I will say, let it be on me for a while. Okay, not just for a while. And if it is something like anxiety, hey, you're on me for a while. Please leave. You are an unwanted visitor. Okay, my second helpful coping emotion could be journal emotions. This is something that, I'm sure I was having a word with Ashok sir. He said that KR Mangalam University is actually teaching students to journal their emotions. And how can they journal their emotions? Is write, dear diary, today I felt anger and rage when my mom compared me to my brother and his grades. Oh, wow. Very succinctly, precisely, the thought, the emotion has been conveyed. Okay. The next thing could be, why do I get triggered every time my mother compares me? What is it that I need to look for so that I don't get triggered? So it could be maybe because I don't believe in comparison. That's fine. My mother does. Maybe I'm not as good as him, my brother, and it pressurizes me. Yeah, you can get under pressure. Or maybe I do not want him to be my role model because you consider that you're unique, cut out to do something other than what he does. Okay, now once you've identified this, what is the next? When we were doing what is the possible meaning of anger, we did that it is time to change. It is time for change, right? So what should my next move be? It is time to change my reaction to my mother. Maybe have a dialogue with her and tell her what exactly I feel. Like, why do I get triggered? What do I feel about comparison? Why should she not show me that I am unique? Or why should I not do anything different than what my sibling is doing? Or maybe change my core belief that I am unique and good, and I don't need to prove myself by being better than my brother. Okay. So then that is journaling emotions. All kinds you can journal, and you will come up with amazing results if you start writing them down. The third helpful coping emotion is take care of yourself. Our thoughts sprout in the soil of our mind. So if my mind doesn't have good content, my thoughts would not be good. So please read good books, watch good data, have good company. Only then your soil will be fertile and you can actually give sprouting positive thoughts. So, and that is self-care. So what is the importance of self-care? Okay. Now, self-care is typically viewed as a simple break from everything, like how you did that meditation. Okay, like how we just dropped everything around us. And so you can focus on something that you actually enjoy. Like you cannot be keeping a routine that, okay, fine, I will work 9 to 5, then I will come and I will paint at 8 o'clock. That doesn't happen. You have to take mid breaks, okay? Scheduling everything sometimes doesn't fall in place, because self-care is a continuous process and it is a set of activities that maintain. So it's maintaining your balance of physical, mental, and emotional well-being. This workshop is about holistic well-being. Even if out of the 4 things on which my table is resting, the 4 pillars of my table, the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual, if one of them becomes wobbly, my table is going to fall. So I will not be holistically in a well-being state, right? So typically I have to take care of myself. And I have to increase the intensity and frequency of my positive emotions, which I'm looking at this little watering can. So every day, pick up a watering can. Hey, today my emotion is good. Okay, I will feel great about myself. So that is how you will increase your intensity and frequency of your positive emotions. If you actually say in front of the mirror, hey, I'm very good. You know, like how Kareena Kapoor says, "Main apni favorite hu." Okay, so that really helps. Now, for break ideas. Okay, so see, these are some of the ideas that we can use for taking a break. And they're really good fun.
Even look so beautiful, ma'am. I believe if we get these breaks from time to time, we would have a great day every single day.
Yes.
Let's just pick up one of these things and do it whenever you are feeling sad or having an anxious day. Amazing, ma'am.
Yeah, you know, I always thought hang upside down. My God, will that be possible for me to do? But coloring mandalas would be so good. You know, art, they say, is therapeutic, right? And coloring those small squares would be very, very beneficial. So anything that resonates with you, you can do. Oh, ripping up paper. Once I'd gone to a cricket stadium and I got bored. So I started ripping paper. And that became such a beautiful exercise for me. It kept me engaged. You know, it took boredom away. Yeah, actually. Now, we will look at self-care from 3 perspectives. Since our table has 4 legs, so we will take care of 3 perspectives and the 4th automatically will be taken care of. So the first is the physical self-care. Okay, let's look at what we have to do here. So sleep 6 to 8 hours, exercise 20 to 30 minutes, liquids, water, hydrate yourself, very important. Focus on proper nutrition. Like I said, maybe you're feeling low because you've not eaten. You know, sometimes we don't understand and we could be hangry. Okay. Cultivate wake up and bedtime routine every day. It should go to bed at the same time and wake up at the same time. Helps. Avoid lifts. Take the stairs. Do not take buses, or if you can walk. Relax, deep breathing, what we did. And engage in my time, me time. Okay. So me time is a beautiful concept. If you want, there's something called non-time. So, you know, if usually you wake up by say 7 and you prepone your waking up time to 5. So 5 to 7 is that time which nobody will disturb you. You will have pitch black darkness in that time. So you can do anything that you want to do, right? If you have that with yourself, you can actually feel psychologically disconnected from your body, which is going to detoxify you. So it's going to be the best thing for you. Okay. The other 2 cares, one could be mental and social. So let's see how we take care of those. So mental note taking, no. Journaling is better. Let's journal emotions, right? Exchange always negative thoughts with positives, how we just did. No is important sometimes. So we have to learn how to say no. If it is encroaching on our space, if it's encroaching on our boundaries. Talk with your go-to person. Very important to figure out your go-to person. Ask for help. Don't shy away. Very, very important. and listen. Listening will help you connect. Listening is the mantra going forward after the pandemic has resumed. The pandemic pause has resumed, sorry. So rasa is a very beautiful technique. You know, R stands for receive. A stands for assimilate whatever you have received. S is summarize and A is ask. So if you are in a conversation, you could just repeat yourself and ask the person, and that person will immediately and instantly feel connected to you. So your mental well-being will go up notches, you know, with that particular state. And then for the self-care bit, you can sign up for a study group or any group for that matter. You can observe your awkwardness, you know, like we said, and nip it in the bud. You can call or visit a family member or friend. You should initiate conversations because that is what social context you do. And you can allow yourself some attention, me time, my time, okay? And lunch, dinner, grab a meal with a friend, okay? So I think you should, if you want, maybe take a screenshot of this so that you'll remember what to do for your self-care, because it is mental and social.
Ma'am, we would actually urge all the professors, if they can start with this exercise, maybe just once a week, maybe in the starting of the week or ending of the week, so that, you know, the students can feel super positive with the week going ahead, and they understand how do I cope up with all the emotions that I'm going through, and why my physical care is going to help with my mental care. Thank you so much, ma'am. That was a lovely slide. Thank you.
Thank you. And the fourth helpful coping emotion could be things I can control and things I cannot control. Make a list. This is going to really, really help, because if you can see that things that you can control would be your choices, you know, your anger, your jealousy, your attitude, and how you treat yourself. Now that's most important. Then how I treat others would come later, because if you treat yourself with compassion, you'll treat others with compassion. And how to not isolate yourself and ask for help. Now, what you cannot control, should we even bother for that? It's not in my control. How can I bother for that? So the past, I can't control. I can't control the mistakes of others or the mistakes my boyfriends or girlfriends make. No, not my circus, not my monkey. The pandemic, opinions of others. I mean, if people aren't wearing masks, how can I be angry about that? It is up to them. They will be infected. Let them, okay? How others behave, choices of others, thoughts of others, and their responses. So we can just look at these and we can understand that how they really help. So now this is one of the best activities that you can do at your own homes with your friends, with your mamas, dads, everybody. And you can see that how your thoughts instantly can change. So it is A, B, C, D, E. So you activate an event, then you formulate a belief around it, and then you see emotional consequences. So let's first look at that, what happens. So for example, someone failed a test. Immediately the belief will be, hey, I'm not good enough. Now the belief is detrimental. I'm not good enough. If it was a test which was a competitive test, maybe that person will have so much of panic attack, so much of disgust and miserable feeling that he may want to tip off a building. Suicidal thoughts may come, and the consequences will be bad. Okay, how do I change this? So the D says dispute the belief that you have formed. So you will not say that you are not good enough. So what is your disputational belief to that challenge? Hey, if I studied, or if I will study next time, I will pass. No big deal. And then your effective new belief will be, I am good. Nobody is or should push me off that cliff, because my mind is stable and I am good enough. And failing one test is not the end of the world. All right. This everybody should do. Activate event, belief, emotional consequence, dispute, and effective new belief. So please take a screenshot if you want. All right. So I think we are just coming to the almost the end of our workshop now. And we will just see one way to handle the uncertainty if there is. So how to navigate through the uncertainty if there is any, like if you still have queries that what will my life look like, whether I will get into a good university, what will my father say if I don't score well. So understand that it can also be the biggest space to grow. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. This term uncertainty is what actually navigates a student's whole cycle while they're in the university or in the school, because that is what they're still stuck on. What do I do? Where do I go? How do I go about it? This is how it happens with them on everyday basis. This term is, yes, what works around them throughout the day.
Right, right. So we can look at uncertainty in a very new light today. So let's focus on what is in our control first and foremost, like what is in our control, that left hand list. And then we can say, okay, let's connect to the people that lift me up, that encourage me and don't pull me down. Don't give me negative emotions about my own self. And then I will validate and respond to my feelings that I will have. Okay, for example, if I have created an Excel sheet with a lot of companies who will offer me jobs and I'm not receiving interview calls, well, I will change my strategy. Like how I said, my A to B destination shouldn't always be linear. It could be topsy-turvy. It could be curvaceous. Okay, so I am going to connect with the person who will give me another opening. And then I will validate and respond to my feeling that I am worthy. It's just this, that the right job isn't coming in front of me. So the immediate emotion that will grip you of feeling miserable will delay itself. Okay, and that is what we are wanting to do in the uncertain times. Then return to the present moment as an anchor, that all is well, all is fine. That Amir Khan, all is well, okay, is very, it works. And then we will choose our information sources wisely, like how I said, go to the person who will help you out. We will welcome curiosity and excitement in my life. We will not handle things or approach things with a very given up attitude. We will again become very curious and exciting and say, oh no, I will go for this particular interview. Let me create a maybe an e-resume or other kind of, innovative things. Then we will accept change and be open to adapt. And we will do best with what we have. This is the new creativity mantra. Most of the people say, do not try and be innovative and go out of the box. Be where you are in the box and try and make the most of what you have. So we will do best with what we have. And then we will say no to mood swings, which means when, we have mood swings when we are not grateful. If I'm very grateful that today I was invited for this, I will never ever have a mood swing. I'll be for the present moment be so grateful that I am getting this platform to address the issue which is so close to my heart, right? And then we can normalize our conversation. Like, don't treat everything like a stigma, like an issue, get down to a very normal conversation, like addressing that 5 W's and 1 H, the why, the who, the when and what, and take inventory of your life. Okay, why am I fixed on this one thing? Can I be flexible? Okay, something like that. And then I am urging you all to risk transparency. Trust the person. If you're sometimes vulnerable, show it, because vulnerability is not a weakness, it's courage. So that is how you are going to make bonds, and you will not have mood swings, because then the annoyance that will come into your mood will not stay, because you will have a Jyoti ma'am to speak with, or an Arora sir to go to, that ma'am, I'm not feeling good today. Okay, this is what is my situation now. Can you just give me a listening ear? And we will use the Rasa technique there. Right? And with that, practice mindfulness. Do not stay half present in front of me, because then half your problems only will be brought to light, right? And then how do we achieve holistic well-being? Totally, the 4 pillars, okay? Physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. Now, how are we going to do that? When we will shift from getting to giving. So give someone something, even if you can make that person smile. They say, Maya Angelou says, a person will not remember a person will only remember how you made him feel, right? So make him feel special, make him feel nice about himself. Shift from reaction to response. The reaction was that I will suddenly get angry if somebody hits my car. A response could be, okay, fine, you made a mistake. Now let's talk about it, right? So shifting from reaction to response. Rewarding, very important. We deserve rewarding ourselves. Simplify tasks, okay? Do not burden your little mind. It can handle as much, okay? Power pose. So this is very, very good. So you stand with both your hands on your waist and you expand your body and you become big. So when you become big, and the victory posture is also like a V, you raise your arms in delight. So the power pose actually makes you become big. Then you can't stay low. A person who feels low becomes small, makes himself small. So, and puts his hand on his head. Okay. Those are body language, how you judge what you're feeling. But the power posture, standing like that in front of the mirror for 2 minutes every day, will make you feel very good about yourself, will make you feel very expansive about yourself. And change your scenery. Don't sit and work at the same place. And nourish your thoughts with nice content. Like I said, remember that blue watering can. And now we are almost some minutes over time. I'll just take the last slide, is where we will let you have happy thoughts so they become your reality. So we are sending you off with, I love myself deeply and unconditionally. Believe in it. I'm confident about solving life problems calmly. All of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. That's so nice. No struggle. I'm cool, calm, and collected. I'm blessed by the universe. I release all the bad experiences of my past. This is very, very important. If you really believe in this and do this, you will release resentments. I will release all my doubts and fears now, in this present webinar. No fear of exams, no feeling low. I'm living in the present. I choose to be happy daily, beginning today, so that you will have a very good Sunday tomorrow. I'm worthy of love and deserve the best. I'm safe and protected. I breathe in relaxation and breathe out tension. And I release worry, and I know this too shall pass. I'm sending love and positivity for healing in the world.
These affirmations were beautiful, ma'am. They were beautiful. They were so positive.
Yeah. And we just need to have a printout of them probably somewhere where we brush in the morning, we can see them and it goes right into our system. And when we see them at night, it goes into our subconscious. So we wake up feeling like that. So we can actually do these affirmations twice a day. Yes, so thank you very much for all our participants there. If you have any queries, you can write to me. You can also follow my Facebook and Insta page, or you can WhatsApp to me at this number. You can take a screenshot of this also. And now if you have any questions, we'd be happy to answer.
Ma'am, we did have one simple question from that one child who said that I'm feeling very low. He again wrote that I know that I have anger issues. Although we spoke about it in detail and I believe it was solved for him, but maybe if you could give him a few pieces of advice that he could follow.
Anger, I can start with saying anger harms the vessel in which it is stored more than the person or vessel on which it is poured. So if you can do a little bit of exercise. Exercise is very important for our body to release the pent-up anger. And it is one of the easiest and the quickest ways to do that. And then actually sit down. You can take an appointment with your emotions. Okay. If you're feeling angry, you can actually demarcate and see, because anger is a moderate emotion. Do you really feel annoyed, or is it rage? then you can go back and see what has activated your event. Why do you feel angry? Then why is your belief system so strong that you continue feeling angry? And then you look at your consequences of what you're doing to yourself, and then dispute that belief and exchange it with a new thought and see whether your anger dissipates. Do that.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Can I add something to it, So my friend, how often you feel angry? That's one point. Second thing is this, that what makes you angry means frequency, then the cause. This is what exactly makes me angry. Third thing is this, that later on reflect that, is it my anger justified? Is my anger justified? Was I really angry and that was right, or not so? So self-reflection is a very important exercise which falls under the category of mindfulness, where you sit, you are reflecting upon your behavior, the behavior of the other person. Then, very important exercise which we need to do is, if it is a repetitive thing, the frequency is too much, that think all of that. Because this is your nature, temperament, the way of your behavior, the way you respond is like being angry. Then think of the alternatives, that if I would have responded in this manner, then what? If I would have responded in this manner, then what? If I have responded in this manner, then what? Right? Then try out those ways. It's very important to try out those ways and see how the things are different. How the things are different, how the things become different. When you will continuously work upon yourself, you see, like for physical self, you go to gym every day, and you are, stretching yourself, and so removing all kind of you actually detox your muscles by you doing certain exercise. So same way, you have to detox yourself. So this is a continuous process and it requires effort. So that is why this webinar we have is specifying that there are ways and means, and they are very well within your reach. Everything is within you. You can smile, you can change, you can have affirmative ideas running in your mind. Then you can meditate for a while, you can relax for a while, and so on. Everything is in your hand. Nothing is coming from outside, right? What you really need is actually to understand that there is a way to prevent this mood or temperament which you have fallen into. There is a way out, right? So anger is also very good if your anger is towards injustice. That's also an anger, but it is towards injustice. It's a very creative. But if anger is leading to destruction, then we really need to think about that. So don't worry about the emotions and all that per se, but see whether those emotions are being used positively for growth, creativity, or otherwise. I hope because maybe you need to talk more about your own situations which make you angry and all. But I'm sure this workshop has given you definitely some ideas that how you can really take care of yourself and lead a very meaningful life. Right? Thank you so much for asking such a wonderful question. Right? But for questions, there is no way out to understand what is happening to us, why it is happening to us, and how to change it. So thank you very much. Anybody else, any question if you have, please feel free.
So ma'am, I would like to ask something if that's fine.
Yeah, please.
Could you tell me what is the first reaction that we should have when we feel sad about something? What is the first 10-20 seconds that what we should do in those first few seconds when we feel sad, disappointed about something? What should our go-to emotion be in those few seconds? Because I feel like that is what determines how we react to it and how we respond to it, those first few seconds.
Yeah. So actually in your question, you have answered. So you have identified the emotion, right? In the sad emotion. Now, the first thing that you can do is you can feel your body. You can tune into your body and check for the physical feelings. Is my heart pounding faster? Am I about to break down into tears? Or will I have an abnormal reaction to something, right? So the minute you tune into your body, you've brought all the mindfulness into your body. You have now you're not partially present to the moment, you're completely present to the moment, right?
Right.
After that, the second step is from the physical, you move to the emotional. Now, with that, you let your body soak in and integrate what you have perceived. Remember that girl was happy and so the emotion will be integrated into your body and you will have a feeling around it, which probably initially you may think would be very big on a scale of, 0 to 10. You would probably start with thinking, oh my God, it will consume me completely. It will be 10. But when you will let it integrate into your body by you becoming a scanner of your own body, okay, then you will not have that kind of a reaction, but you will have a response to that particular event or emotion. And that is what this workshop was set out to do, to identify and then to get around, handling it. And then you will understand that, okay, I cannot let this anger stay as a mood in my body and make me form a kind of a mental issue for me, right? Like we decided, we said that anything which is in your body existing for over 2 weeks needs to be addressed, right? So
thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah.
Answers? Okay. So today's workshop was very interesting, and I would say it took us to a very different pedestal, that how to view our emotions and then how to handle them, how to control them, right? But this is the fact, we all go through emotions. Nobody of us is like this, that who doesn't have emotions, right? Emotions are an integral part of us. The only thing is this, that how do we use those emotions and how do we actually become a little more mature, right? And that is what we call, we are mentally sound, we are mentally healthy, that we know how to adjust, we know how to adapt to the circumstances. Now, this requires an effort at the part of an individual, as well as a very congenial and supportive environment is given to the individuals. All right? And this is where since we said that in the beginning itself, our campuses are having these kinds of issues. So the campuses of progressive universities, the universities which really think in terms of taking care of their students in totality, not only in academics, but making them complete human beings, that requires a thought out process. So their curriculums are different. The way they conduct themselves is very different. Their pedagogies are different. And the opportunities they provide are very much different. So I'll request now, before I request Anupam ma'am to take us to a round of what exactly we do in KR. I would like to thank Poonam ma'am Poonam Bhargava ma'am to be here with us, to lead us through such a wonderful journey, right? And making us more aware of what exactly we need to do to stand healthy in totality. Thank you so much, ma'am. Right?
Thank you for inviting me. Yeah, thank you so much.
And now I'll request Apporva ma'am to take us through a journey of KR Mangalam University and how we are really ensuring the total health of our students. So, Apporva ma'am.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. A very good afternoon to everyone, to the participants, to our esteemed speaker and the other panelists. I heartily thank Poonam Bhargava ma'am for such an enlightening and such an enriching webinar. I feel that this is one topic that is that has been on our minds, and we tend to sort of push it under the carpet, and we tend to not discuss about it. We tend to not bring it forward. I feel like the concerns of mental health, self-care, and the aspect of holistic well-being are of utmost concern. And especially, like I said, in the present time, it affects our thinking. Definitely, it affects how we feel, how we react, and how we act in certain situations. And of course, how we handle stress. Here at KR Mangalam University, we provide a platform for a holistic development that is holistic in all its senses, and specifically we have regular counseling sessions, and we have a different support system. A great panel of psychologists, professors are there to help the students regularly, and we have a mentor-mentee program that focuses on each and every student and his or her needs at each and every step. So I, Apporva Hooda, Assistant Professor of English at KR Mangalam University, would like to further connect you with the university and give you more information as to how the university is handling these different aspects that are important in a student's life. So I would like to also share the PPT with you. So I would want to discuss the features and share the different possibilities and opportunities that the university is providing. And of course, as a student,
please make it full screen one, because we see the entirety of the PPTs.
Sure.
Make it full screen.
So of course, as a student, you must be very confused, and you must be in a constant dilemma as to which college we should choose, which university we should go to, what sort of courses we should opt, and the different streams that we should choose. So since of course it is one of the most important parts, I feel that it is one of the most important aspects of our life. So here through this platform, we are here to make that choice a little more informed, a better informed decision. So talking about the university, we have over 3,000 students and a campus which has over 150 faculty members, 12 schools, and it is spread across a large area with all different possible amenities. So specifically talking about the courses and the curriculum that has been set up in KR Mangalam University, it gives the advantage, it has the advantage of a multidisciplinary and specifically industry integrated curriculum. And we have an environment wherein everybody is benefiting from each and every sort of school. It is not such that one school is only focused on one specific thing. the idea of holistic learning, the idea of integrated learning is instilled in the university. We have new different types of courses which are not seen in traditional universities, wherein we are inculcating skill along with the industry experience, so as to create an experience which is not just about the theoretical learning. It also helps bridge that gap, which is very important, wherein where the student is going and getting educated, and also then gradually moving forward and moving on to a work environment. So that bridging that gap is what we focus at here by sort of integrating the education and the experience part. Along with that, we have different courses, and like I said, these courses are all integrated. There is no specific line wherein the courses are very strict and stringent. Each course can be integrated with the other. Specific type of new courses have also been instilled, such as data science and cybersecurity. Since these are the need for the present times, we are not only focusing on the traditional courses, on the traditional education. We are also, since we see the different changes in the work sector and what the demand of the work sector is, so we have different courses where we are integrating each and every aspect. Of course, we have engineering, we have management, basic applied sciences, education, architecture and design, journalism and mass communication, legal studies, humanities, medical and allied sciences, hotel management, agricultural sciences, and of course, doctoral programs in all disciplines. Along with that, like I was saying, industry experts are included at each and every step, so as to bring a collaboration and to bridge that gap that I was talking about, which is between studying and working. So we have different partners, industry collaborations with IBM, LinkedIn Learning, NSC Academy, and all these different industries. Along with that, we also have collaborations with the National Stock Exchange. And since students need to know this, I feel it is a very, very important part of the today, where we need to be economically educated. We need to know different aspects other than the aspect of education. We are taught, we are here at KR Mangalam, we are also training students with the different kind of softwares that are needed. Especially one example is the National Stock Exchange collaboration, where the students are trained and they are given training on the softwares that are needed, so that they can include that as a skill as well. Along with that, there is also different aspects such as the Yantra Robotics Lab and the different networks that we are including, wherein everybody is connected with each other. Along with that, of course, we have the best distinguished professors, and we have collaborations with, for example, academic collaborations with the research. Basically, these collaborations are research based, specifically such as with IIT Bombay. We have a collaboration, and different distinguished professors from around the globe who are allowing us to have a view of the international view, allowing us to get an international exposure along with that of the country. Our university also, basically, like the slide is showing, our university gets mentorship from all the well-known faces of other countries or from other universities as well. Along with that, there are different innovative teaching pedagogies, and this specifically, this photo that you can, these two photos that you can see on your screen are the smart ashram, along with the other things that are being set up. What we here at KR Mangalam believe is that we should become self-sustained. We should have everything from 0 to 100, and not just the theoretical knowledge. We should have, we should be self-sufficient. We should have a place where we can learn everything from the very initial portion to the very last. Along with that, of course, there is life beyond academics, and specifically, like today's session is talking about the mental health being and the focus on the aspects of how we as people react in certain situations. We have, like I was telling you before, the mentor-mentee program, wherein each student is connected with the professor. Each professor has a few students under them, and they are helping them at each step in each and every problem. They are there to help them. Along with that, there is of course the industry connect that I have just discussed with you. The community connect, we have we at KR Mangalam have also adopted several villages, and the constant connect with the community is always there. Along with that, there are so many clubs and societies of each and every department, and people from other departments can of course are always taking part in these interdisciplinary and inter university competitions, etc., that are being held in the campus as well. Is this slide visible? Yes. Also, along with that, there is implementation of all the new programs and such as the NEP that was there, and the holistic environment that we are seeing here with the integration of all the courses. We include mental health activities. We include different seminars, webinars that keep regularly happening, such as this one, which are focusing on numerous grounds. It is all interdisciplinary, and we have, along with that, a student connect program wherein we have international exposures. We give international exposure to students, and basically we also provide students with the knowledge and the gap that is there, wherein the students don't know how they can also go abroad, and how they can get that international exposure as a part of their studies. KR Mangalam has international tie-ups, and we also give part-time degrees, such as summer internships are also there. And in order to get any more further information about the same, please contact the admissions team. These are a few pictures of our students who have gone abroad and gotten in touch with the different universities, experiences of the different universities, their curriculum, and gotten a hang of how things work. So along with that, of course, our students are placed at students are working at great places. The highest package, you can see the visited recruiters, total number of offers that are made. Our top recruiters, as you can also see on the screen, Paytm, Medanta, Sun Pharma, KPMG, India Booz, etc. We provide disconnect about the placement from not just at the end of the the journey of education. We are providing it at the very beginning. The students are connected with the placement officer at the very initial stage, wherein they can understand what different opportunities they have, how they can change if they change their field if they want, where are the different places that they can go to. And the placement is of course not like in traditional universities. It is not starting at the end. It begins at the very initial part. These are the different recruiters that we've had so far and in future as well. Of course, the admission process, like with other universities, it is it is unlike the other universities. It is very, very transparent. It is very, very simple. You have to meet the admissions officer. The admissions officer will give you the information. You can procure the application form, register with us, appear for the admissions test. Then there is a personal interview that you have to give, and then of course you pay the fee, and you are able to join us at KR Mangalam. The process of admission is very, very simple. You have to contact the admissions department, and they will let you know they will help you at each and every step, and it is just very, very plain and very, very simple. Here on the screen, you can also see the average fee structure, which is substantially comparatively lower as compared to the other private universities in the different states in Northern India. Along with that, of course, we provide scholarships to the meritorious students, offering deserving undergraduate students a scholarship up to even 100%, and students who have attained different awards, etc. Their they also get a lot of scholarships. And of course, there is 15% scholarship for sports quota, 15% scholarship for children with children of defense personnel, special financial aid to students from KR Mangalam schools, etc. So I would like to thank you for being here as a part of the KR Mangalam University. I, along with the other panelists, would heartily like to thank you. And the information for any kind of queries given on the screen as well, the phone number, the email ID, and the admissions process, again, like I said, is very, very simple and very clear. So thank you so much for being a part of this enriching webinar.
And thank you so much, Arora sir. And thanks again to Ms. Poonam. So you are
thank you very much for joining us, and thank you to the panelists for taking us along through a wonderful journey. And in case you have any query, kindly get in touch with us, and we will be very happy to welcome you to the campus to have a direct interface with what exactly happens in the university. You can talk to the students, you can meet our faculty, you can discuss with them. We give you an opportunity to go through a psychometric test also to understand your aptitude and what exactly are the courses best for you. All right. So we look forward to see you in the campus. Thank you so much for joining today, and bye-bye. Have a good day.